I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day, to the things I wish would die, like buffets. All that and much more. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca wherever you get your podcasts.
Inspired by the life of the savvy and ambitious Colombian businesswoman Griselda Blanco comes a new Netflix original limited series. Griselda tells the story of a devoted mother who, with her lethal blend of charm and relentless savagery, creates one of the most powerful cartels in history. Witness Sofia Vergara's captivating transformation into the godmother of the underworld. Griselda, now streaming only on Netflix.
Barenaked, 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 ABCs. Welcome to the Barenaked ABCs, where we discuss every Barenaked Lady song from 7 to Y. And tonight, well, I have a couple of gentlemen joining me. I have Stefan, who is the person who turns my trivialities into importancies. Wait, does that sound right? Yeah, I think that sounds right. Yeah.
Yes.
And Jeff, who cures all my maladies.
Do I though? Or do I cause?
No, I
do
think
I cause
you
them?
caused.
I was going to say I probably caused your
Dr. Jeff is in the house.
Dr. J.
Or Nurse Jeff.
Whatever.
But tonight we don't have Aaron, but we do have a special guest returning to talk with us about our song. We have Allie, the pop culture anthropologist.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Allie.
Always a
Hello.
Good to be back.
It's good to have you. That sounded really weird.
It did.
There's only one person that can make that joke, Stefan. Only you.
I don't know, man.
As that's the song we're going to be talking about tonight. The song "Only You" by the Platters. You guys all listened to that this week, right?
We sure did.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, sure,
right.
sure.
Only you. Yeah.
Oh, my ear.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
No. We're talking about "Only You" by BNL, but it goes by another name. "Only You" was the first name that they gave it on the first edition of Buck Naked, but that's hard to prove. I've only seen that on the internet. I can't prove that because there's only like 40 copies of that original version of Buck Naked out there, and no one has shown the actual cover slip and song listing from that album.
If it's on the internet, it's true.
Well, exactly. But I do have it from a couple different sources that "Only You" was originally what it was called. But then when they came out with the second, third, and fourth versions of Buck Naked, and then also on Barenaked Recess, what we found there was Lilac Girl.
Only you can turn my eloquence to banality. Only you can make importances into trivialities. Only you can cure this malady. Only you can make me scream. Lilac girl. La 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 la.
They changed it for some reason.
Periwinkle Girl was probably taken.
I don't think it fit into the song as well either with the rhyme scheme.
I mean, the change might have been due to the fact that the chorus literally just says Lilac Girl, but I mean, just tossing that out there. I'm brainstorming.
I've got to be
Maybe there were
honest.
too many.
I've never have seen that. I've heard it mentioned maybe once before, but I've never seen it listed as "Only You." So I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know. It doesn't really make sense why they would change it in the first place. Like, why?
My only thought is that it probably sounded too much like the other Only You by the Platters, and they didn't want it to be mistaken for that.
Makes sense.
I can't really see it being called Only You, because Only You only appears. I mean, it appears. It begins the first 4 lines of the first verse, but beyond that point, it's pretty much Lilac Girl. Yeah, right. Yeah, and then it returns, but I think the heart of the song is the Lilac Girl chorus.
Right. I could see either name working perfectly well with this song. I'm glad they went with Lilac Girl because it sticks out a little more. This is like an extremely deep dive. Like, they never put it out on any actual albums per se. It only was on the demo tapes.
I know, and that's a crime.
And wasn't it played in like 2004 as well?
So they did do it live in Detroit, Michigan in 2004.
And what makes Detroit so special? Because this is a great song.
Well, they must have done it on the Peep Show tour, right? Because they did every song they wrote on Peep Show. So somewhere.
Well, that was the tour.
Well, that was on Natural.
Oh, that's right.
Peep Show. It went Peep Show, Everything to Everyone, and the Blam. Or no, I think it was Peep Show, Everything to Everyone. On Natural?
Peep Show came after E to E.
Something like
right after E to E.
No, Peep Show I thought was right before.
I had gotten E to E and then I saw Peep Show shortly after. Because the only time I've seen BNL live was during Peep Show, and I had E to E at that point.
Maybe it was like their smaller venue because I saw them on the E2E tour.
Yeah. Well, I think they were.
Did you see them, Tracy?
Both those tours at the same time, because I went to the E2E show, but they were also doing the Peep Show tour, I think, at the same time, because that was for the small venues that they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt bad because I really wanted to go see the small venue one, but the tickets sold out.
I'm glad that I can say that's the one time I've seen them. I wish I would have seen them more, but the fact that I saw them on the small venue, I'm really happy that that's where I saw them, because I think that was a good way to see this group. I don't remember them doing Lilac at that show, but
well, and you make a good point, Allie, that they said they did all their songs, but if you look at setlist.com, they've only ever played this song 3 times live in concert.
Wow.
Well, that was a question I was going to ask.
They did it twice in 2004, so on that tour. So maybe they did it one for the E2E show, and then the next night they did it for the Peep Show tour, Peep Show show. But the other one is they did it the first time ever in September 10th, 1991 in Toronto. You were going to say something, Alex.
Well, I actually have 2 things. So I figured it out. I think if I remember correctly, E2E came out October of 2003. Then they did like October, November, December, the Peep Show, the small tour. And then I think January, February, then they went and then they did the E2E tour. So I think it was before E2E.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
But like after it came out. So like,
okay.
And then I think All Natural was after that. It definitely was after that sometime. But anyways, no one asked about that. What I was going to say is that they've had to do that song way more than 3 times.
I would think so. I would hope so. Like,
because
does the channel where you get your live does it show where they did the shows as well? Or
yep. Yeah.
So where did they do Lilac Girl?
I would have to look it up right now. I only know Toronto and Detroit off the top of my head. I didn't specifically look at the other one, but I do remember that the other 2004 was only like 2 or 3 days before the Detroit show.
Okay.
It's interesting that they would bring it up in 2004 just randomly like that. I mean, what makes them think
they were doing at that point with the Peep Show tour. They said they were playing every single song of theirs live.
Right.
So I would guess that
they did. I remember they did an acapella set at Peep Show where they did a lot of like deep cuts, which I thought was really cool. Like they came out and just did an acapella deep cut set. So maybe that doesn't always show up on the what they did live thing.
Yeah, it might have been down as a medley or something like that.
Right.
But I know that Steven was talking during one of the live from home shows where he played this, which excellent. But he said that they stopped playing it because the opening is too similar to If I Had $1 Million.
I had that in my notes, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the
And
same
they always
chords,
thought
yep. Uh-huh.
that's what they were doing. So if that happened, it must have been played enough for that to have been an issue.
Yeah.
So there's
I thought the same thing. When this song starts up, you almost hear If I Had $1 Million. It's the same chord structure. And I did make a joke in my notes here too. This is kind of the throwaway of Gordon because they also do the oh from Hello City.
Hello City.
So,
Yeah.
So
That
there
was
are
my note.
little bits of other. So yeah, there's little bits of other songs in this one.
I didn't catch on to the beginning being like, If I Had $1 Million. I actually really liked the instrumental portion of this song. I thought it was just really great to listen to. But I didn't make the connection between that and $1 million.
Yeah, it's the same chords, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And also the way that Kevin's playing the mandolin on the live version sounds very eerily similar to, I want to say, it's one of the songs that's on the Holiday album, and I can't now. Of course, I had it about 2 minutes ago, but now I
Saw
can't
Three
think of it.
Ships.
I think so. Yes.
He plays mandolin on that one.
Yeah. And it sounds very, no, I Wish You a Merry Christmas, I want to say. Like when they would go into I Wish You a Merry Christmas, I want to say that was very similar to that, to the picking that he's doing on that one. But it might have been I Saw Three Ships. Either way, it sounds very similar. So there are pieces of this that they keep bringing back throughout their career. As you were mentioning, like with Lilac Girl and Hello City with the Oh-Woes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one. This is one of their songs.
I think it's different enough so that they could play it. I really like it. I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
So
what is it? I love
this-
Gordon anyway. So it's so Gordon-esque. That's my jam, man.
What were you saying, Ellie?
I was just going to say, so this is one of my all-time favorite BNL songs. I love this song. Yes, I love this song. That's really all I have to say about it. So I guess I'll just go now because I love this song.
Mic drop, Allie.
Mic drop. But yeah, no, I never picked up on the $1 million thing either until he said that. And I was like, oh. And I was like, well, you should have just keep playing it anyways because I don't care about their disappointment.
Turn my elegance to
Exactly.
finale.
Oh no, they're playing something that sounds similar to their biggest hit song. Oh no.
Exactly. Well, and
Making more money.
I think it's interesting
Well,
because
fans.
I want to say this is probably their second or third song that they ever wrote. It is, if for people who were introduced to BNL with the demo tapes, this is literally their first exposure to what BNL would be. Because on the demo tapes, it was the second
track, right? Yeah.
The first track was Roadrunner, which was just them doing a cover.
Right.
This is their first original on the Buck Naked track.
And it's a good track for that because it really does showcase what they were going to be.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, this is quintessential Steve Ed lyrics, quintessential Steve Ed harmonies. Like this is, this is
harmonies.
Yes, the harmonies on this are fantastic. And going off what Ali said, I don't know. I think when I first listened to the demo on the very first demo, I don't know if it really kind of hit me as hard as it should have. I was like, oh, that's good. That's cool. But it's a demo. It's not going to sound as great as it's supposed to. When I was listening again, I listened to the second one off Recess and then the live version. This is I can easily say this is one of my favorite BNL songs. It's that good. It's that good. Yeah. This song is that good.
I like in the middle, there's like a guy that goes like really high, like just for a second. It's like I think it's the only point in the song that he does it, but it's like, oh my God, this is just like
I'm pretty sure that's Andy.
So great. I mean, just that little bit, that little thing. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that adds a little beautiful note to it.
Demo tape version that you sent, I pick up it's more produced. I actually think I like it maybe the least out of the three, because it's just like, especially at the end chorus and the outro. Like they do a lot of layering, harmonizing, with Ed's voice, but it just feels a little much. I think I like the more stripped down version of the song. But on that demo version, on that intro, to me, when I listened to it, I was like, that sounds like a piece of Really Don't Know. There's like 3 or 4 chords that are like loud on that particular version, the way it's produced. And I was like, that sounds like Really Don't Know. And I went back. That's why that's, if you want a look into my geek brain, that's why I was late, because I was listening to the two, trying to see if I could hear it on the other one. The answer is sort of, maybe, I don't know. It was very conclusive.
Wait, you're telling us you really don't know?
I watched that one.
Oh, Tracy got a sigh from that one.
I got a sigh. That was good. So when you said the demo one, was that the Buck Naked demo or was that the Barenaked Recess demo? Yeah.
I just saw a demo tape and I forgot. Yeah, the Recess one.
Okay. And that's the one where we have Andy and Jim at that point coming in and joining them. And I don't remember, I want to say not Tyler at that point. I don't think Tyler had joined by Recess. But it definitely has much more to it. It's more depth in that part of the song, just because you do have Jim and Andy playing in the background, but you also have that third harmony in there from Andy backing up the rest of them. I love the harmonies on that version, the Recess version, for that exact reason. I was reading an interview this week, and they were talking about they interviewed Andy Cregan with GetBareNaked.com in 2003, and they said one of the questions was, "What was it like to play your first show up on stage with B&L?" And he said, I remember I busted a blood vessel in my hand. I had no idea how to play the congas. But I remember the pleasure of picking out the third harmonies and not really being able to hit Lilac Girl. And I remember the unstoppable rhythm between Jim and Ed.
That's pretty awesome. Allie, you were saying that the Recess song you didn't like as much as the Buck Naked song, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. I would have to agree with that. So I enjoyed the Buck Naked version better than the Recess one.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm curious where Tracy stands on this, because I actually prefer the Recess version.
I was going to agree with you, Jeff, actually.
Yeah, I prefer the Recess version over the Buck Naked version.
Huh. Just because there's a couple of things in there, like the harmonies are a little tighter.
Yeah, and they do a couple things where they slip into a minor key too, which I really like. They actually change up the melodic structure a little bit too, and I like that. They make it sound less like If I Had $1 Million. I think they realized. Which not that I have anything against If I Had $1 Million, but I think they realized, like, ooh, we got two songs that are pretty similar here. So, yeah. But the harm layering, I really like that in Recess. Recess is the one that made me love this song, which just goes to show music is really subjective.
Oh yeah,
it's just the music is subjective. It's a great song, just maybe the way they do it is how it how it hits you differently.
Yeah, I mean, and at that same respect, like the Buck Naked version is one I grew up with listening to.
Yeah.
So that
you have the nostalgia element to it too, which is huge. Yeah, that's always
exactly. I also. To me, the song seems more like it should be just like, maybe just not a couple voices and guitar, but it should be kind of just more organic. I don't know, it just strikes me kind of as that type of song. It's a very singer-songwriter. Yeah.
And I get that. I totally get that. Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that, because my trouble with Tracy this week was almost the exact opposite point.
What's the trouble with Tracy? He's got problems with this song. What's the trouble with Tracy?
Just because I don't tend to like stripped down songs that much. And the trouble with Tracy this week was the fact that I am extremely upset that this never made it onto any, not even as a B-side onto anything. Because like when it comes down to it, I would have liked to have heard a really fully idealized and found version of this. We almost start to get that with the live version from the Au Natural tour in 2004, that from the Detroit show. I like the parts that Kevin's bringing into it, and they're fleshing it out a little bit more. But at the same time, I feel like that if they had really spent the time to delve deep into this and make it a full recording for a record, I feel like it would have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I think it's a crime that they didn't put it on an album because it's really good. Why?
It is.
It didn't even have to be Gordon.
I mean, it could have.
They
could have been Glam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They threw everything else on there. Why not Lilac Girl?
Right.
I could pick like 5 songs that should replace. Sorry. Go ahead. What? Sorry. Stop.
Or even more so, this is what should have been on the Stop Us If You've Heard This one before.
Yes.
With their rarities. Like, this is a rarity that should have been fully actualized for that album, and it wasn't. And this is where I get so furious. I hear these songs and I'm like, that one right there, that's, take off these other demos that never made it, that actually got re-recorded. Give me this.
I'm wondering if they don't have a full band version because they never did it for an album.
Yeah. But they put all those other demos on. Put the demo of this one on instead.
Yeah. I mean, and then there's the third greatest hits album. I mean, it could have gone on there. Whatever that one, the most recent one is.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
I suppose the greatest hit would have to be performed more than 3 times in live.
Well, like Ali said, I'm pretty sure it probably was. I think set list is missing a lot of their early songs, because I think this really was a staple of their early shows.
Yeah, I would have to imagine so. I mean, I know they didn't play it for many years, but like, it's well known enough in the community, and it's, obviously confused people enough. It was played enough, it confused people, it became an issue. Yeah, and Steven has, I think, done it 3 or 4 times at Live from Home. So in theory, that would be more than the entire band ever did. So I don't think that's correct. That would be my wild guess.
I think the lyrics are quite good too. I think Jeff would be really pleased with the lyrics because he likes rhymes, and I know that this thing is just
just get me started on the lyrics.
Oh, I want to bring up one more point and pick Allie's brain before we go on to lyrics, before we officially go there. So the other thing, so this is one of those songs that I think Steven really loves, because he's done this song 4 times in his live from home concerts.
Yeah, I'm sure he likes it, and that's why he's willing to play it. I mean, he plays a lot of requests, and maybe for the first 8 weeks, someone in this conversation requested it every week. I'm not going to name names.
Do you think this is one of his first ever songs that he really kind of cranked out, and that it might hold a special place for him?
I want to say it was one of the first that he and Ed probably came up with. We know that If I Had $1 Million was the first, because that was the one that they created on the bus. That was the first one they created on that bus ride, or just afterwards at the camp. And we know that Really Don't Know goes back before that one, because that was written with Scary Movie Breakfast. But of that list, this is one of the first 5 ones that they recorded. It's up there in terms of which ones they actually had in their list when they first started doing Buck Naked. So it was an early on Maid.
That'd be kind of cool to find some of the kids who are on that bus who are listening to the song, no, that'd be kind of cool. And
that would be amazing.
Get their. You going to play it for us, Jeff?
I figured it out. It is a G. It's basically a G. It's the same chords. Sorry, I was trying. This had me, Kevin. I was like, I have to see if they're the same chords, but yeah.
Why don't we head over to the lyrics real quick though, and talk a little bit about what this song is about.
What is it about?
I think it's about banality. I have no idea what that word is. But I thought it was fun. Banality.
One of the great things about this song is they use all of these big, like 10-cent words, but they use them correctly and they use them in comparison to each other, and it's wonderful.
And they use them in a beautiful rhyme scheme. I mean, I can go. One thing I absolutely adore about this song is the contrast between verse 1 and verse 2. And I almost think that Steve wrote verse 1 and Ed wrote verse 2. I could be wrong, but the first verse has the 4 lines, all beginning with only you, hence maybe why that got that. But that rhyme scheme of elegance to banality, importancies to trivialities, cure this malady is such a glorious rhyme scheme. Like, that is amazing. And then they turn it around and you think they're almost going simple with it. Because the second verse, she brushes your hair. I'm like, you literally started the song with the line, only you can turn my eloquence to banality. Your second verse goes, she brushes her hair. What is up with that? Like, it's weird.
Going right into trivialities.
It goes very simplistic, but then you listen to it, brushes her hair, she climbs the stairs. Suddenly she's aware, which is also a really good 3-part rhyme, that she's beautiful. And that's such a fantastic sentiment to the song. It's such a good line. And my God, the next rhyme scheme that happens, she looks so delicious as she's washing the dishes. Suddenly she wishes, just like all the fishes in the sea, that she was with me. That 4-part rhyme, the whole pun on the other fishes in the sea reference, going back to the simplicity of someone doing something very trivial, I guess you could say, triviality. The verses and the rhyme scheme in this song are absolutely fantastic. This is like quintessential B&L writing right here.
It's beautiful. And I'm glad that
beautiful
Ellie's here too, because she might be able to answer a question for me. As a guy, I don't experience things like this, but do a lot of women realize that they're beautiful as they're walking downstairs? I was just wondering, because I don't think that way.
I've never thought about it. I'm going to say that's probably poetic license, though I'm sure it has happened many times in the history of women.
I'm just wondering. I'm just hoping to make it to the bottom of the stairs.
I'm just like, am I gonna trip up the stairs? Like, I'm not really concerned with beauty, but I think going back to what you were saying about the rhyme schemes is, I think this, honestly, like, this is, you're right, it's quintessential B&L, and the vocabulary that's used for a song that was written from when they were teenagers is really quite amazing. I always have felt that the B&L songs, especially the more Stephen heavy songs, have a very like literary quality. And this is one of those. I think that's where it really comes out. Because like you were saying, 10-cent words, or it's not that. Yeah.
I definitely like Steve being a part of B&L. Maybe it has something to do with the American school system that we're just lagging behind in our vocabulary. I don't know. But I have to look up half of these words.
Well, I love the word importancies, because I was like, okay, is he making up a word that? No, that's an actual.
It is a word.
Mid-hundreds word. Like, who pulls that one out? What a great rhyme, but also like what a great word to just use in comparison to trivialities.
These kids definitely.
Well, and also just showing that everything that he thought was so big was trivial. I mean, his elegance is banal. So basically, everything that I thought was so great about myself in the world is unoriginal until you came along, which is banality. And importancies in the trivialities. Everything that I thought was so important is frivolous. And only you can cure this malady. I mean, it's such God, it's such a good moment, and I'm glad they repeated it. Bring that back.
Well, and then you're expecting him to go with another rhyme, and he doesn't. Only you can make me swoon.
Which is that also is a really clever technique. Really, really clever.
It breaks it up, doesn't it?
And it breaks it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, was there one version where he said "scream"? Because I thought I heard "scream" in one.
No.
No,
but online that's what it says.
No.
Online it says "scream." Oh, because I've seen "scream." I've seen "scream" somewhere, unless I'm Mandela affecting right now. But...
It was ice cream.
Ice cream.
Okay.
I love.
Only you can make me scream. Oh.
Yeah, I've seen "scream" somewhere. Seen or heard it.
That's what they put online for their lyrics. I'm like, I know that's not correct. I know it's swoon. That's an amazing line.
I know, right? Like Matt will just give up on writing anything right now. That's already.
And the way that he says swoon, like you can almost hear him swooning as he's singing that word. Like it's just amazing, almost onomatopoeia at that point.
Usually guys don't swoon. Usually it's not a guy thing.
Yeah, I really like that. Actually, I think that's one of the reasons I really like it. Is it's kind of this guy getting tripped up by this girl that it's like kind of a role reversal. I can't quite get to the thought I'm thinking of, so you can edit this part out, Tracy.
I didn't happen at all. No.
Men swoon. We just don't say we do because we don't really usually put the connection to it. Again, the vocab shortage.
To be fair, not a lot of people say they swoon. So people should say it more, but I don't think a lot of people.
Well, I want to go back to something that Stefan and actually you also, Allie, were talking about earlier. So she brushes her hair, she climbs down the stairs, and suddenly she's aware that she's beautiful. She does not notice that she's beautiful when she's looking in the mirror. She notices it just like when she's doing one of her often mundane things of the day, which is walking down the stairs. And it just suddenly occurs to her. Like, I love the fact that she's not egotistical and egocentric and thinking that she's amazing herself. It just kind of occurs to her. And I almost want to say that the thing that makes that occur to her is that she sees herself through him. Like when she comes down the stairs, she sees him, and then seeing his reaction to her, that's when she realizes this.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on her seeing him. Yeah, that's a good point, man.
I took it as internal beauty, but that works. I mean, that's good too. I mean, I kind of saw like the internal beauty, like the general, just I'm a beautiful person, you know?
Yeah.
You know, I'm a good person. I'm a great person.
I do want to point out that she climbs down the stairs. I find that an interesting turn of phrase because who talks about climbing down the stairs?
Unless you're talking about The Grudge.
Right. I mean, usually we talk about walking down the stairs, but it paints for me in my mind this picture of a spiral staircase or something along that line to be climbing down the stairs. Like
The Exorcist. Sorry.
Or The Exorcist. Sorry, I wouldn't go that way with beautiful. Sorry.
It's weird. In my household, we've always said climb down the stairs.
Yeah, we have to.
Really?
Yeah, we have to. You climb down the stairs. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm very familiar with that phrase. That's coming down the stairs is climbing down the stairs.
Yep.
I want to go back to something you said really quickly, Jeff. Also, she looks so delicious as she's washing the dishes. And this has hit me ever since I heard this song. I think whoever wrote that, whether it was Ed or Steve, is doing a musical theater reference there. I could be wrong, but I think that he's making a musical theater reference there to something happened on the way to the Forum, because in the song, Everybody's Gotta Have a Maid.
Yeah.
There's that line, and I'll put it in right here.
Oh,
Wouldn't she be delicious, tidying up the dishes, neat as a pin?
Where they use that exact rhyme scheme in almost exactly the same way, but it's not an exact perfect. So he's not stealing the line.
Right.
It's almost like a shout out to that moment in that song.
Yeah, I can definitely see that too. I can see them using the musical reference to Forum on there.
But then they build from it.
And then tying in their own B&L kind of thing. And there's a little bit of a kind of an egotism there, which I like, that suddenly she wishes, just like all the fishes in the sea, that she was with me. And it's I don't see that as being like egotistical or anything in a way. It's a playful little fun, like, you were meant for me, I was meant for you. And but I love that. I love the way they bring that up. Like you can look beautiful doing just, a day-to-day thing. And I love that in her. And then she loves that she's with me. And it's a really good sentiment. And it's done really, it's a very sweet moment in the song. And I love it. I just love it.
We haven't talked about the chorus, which is very simplistic.
I believe the chorus is trying to say la 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 lilac girl.
Yes.
Whoa,
Whoa,
la, la, la,
whoa,
la. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hello.
I mean, we
Lilac
can
girl.
go deeper if you'd like.
No, I like the fact that it's simplistic. I mean, I like, even though like they later on they're like, oh, we need to make a simple chorus, which is, it's all been done.
Yeah.
No,
right.
you already Lilac Girl, like right in the early days before you even wrote Brian Wilson, you had a very simple chorus that worked.
Fine. My grandmother used to make lilac wine.
Like wine?
Wine, yeah.
Wine
Yeah.
from lilacs.
And it would have a beautiful purple to it, but I guess it is known to have some kind of unhealthy toxin to it.
I was gonna say, I don't know if lilacs, you can ingest them.
They're edible in some ways, I think. But
I don't know, but also if you're
it's old
if you're
school.
stuck in the beauty of this song, maybe not look up lilac on Google. Because the first thing that pops up if you look up lilac is they're low maintenance. Like, just what
Lilacs
everyone
are-
wants from a relationship. I love her because she's really low maintenance.
They're like really also sought after. Like
Yeah.
a lot of times, if you have lilac bushes, people will come and cut them from your yard or offer to buy them from your yard. I lived in an apartment a long time ago that had a lilac tree out front, and there would be people that the owner had to put up a fence because people kept trying to get to the lilac tree and cutting off the branches, or like come up to us and be like, "Can I give you money for the lilac tree?" And I was like, "It's not my
Wow.
tree." And then like they've played at the Lilac Festival. Lilacs are very. I know that Steven said that he kind of. I believe he said something along the lines like he used it like because he was a teenager and it sounded romantic, lilacs. So I don't know if there's really too much meaning in lilacs, or if it might just be that lilacs sound really pretty and sound something romantic when you're a teenager.
Maybe it was a shout out to his most favorite singer that he would later write with.
Yes.
Because his
Stephen
favorite
Deppner?
band was the Lilac Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
I
joking.
wonder if he wrote this. Well, I mean, no, that's interesting. I don't know where that this fits in the timeline off the top of
Lilacs
my
are
It's a nice
beautiful,
little
they bloom,
coincidence.
They smell good. They they make the whole neighborhood really pleasant. They're a joy. There's nothing really bad about lilacs.
I thought it was like a Dean Friedman thing because Dean did, McDonald's Girl, and so let's do Lilac Girl, and then maybe we'll cover McDonald's Girl someday. I don't know.
Yeah. The only part of this song that we haven't talked about so far is the bridge. We should talk about
Should
the
we?
bridge. I think we should.
I
'Cause
mean,
it has
since it's there
my
now.
favorite part.
You what?
Which
Go ahead.
version of the bridge is your favorite part? The buck naked version or the recess version? Because I have a clear answer on this one.
I would say the recess.
Yes,
version,
the
but-
recess version of the bridge. Yes, I
But-
have to say.
Allie, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say, fun fact is, the bridge of this song is why I did not choose it as a wedding song for my husband and I.
I can get yes.
Why? Why?
Whatever, right? I was
You
like,
didn't want to make that your statement about him.
yeah, it was like one of those things where it was like 90% of the way there, but there was a couple, as you would expect, little things that I was like, I don't know, but might, you know.
I don't know if I want to tell him that he lies like a.
Yeah, that was the big one that I was like, probably shouldn't. And also, there's not really a great recording of it to play, so
Right.
I guess
you'd have to find someone else to re-record it.
Right. Yeah, that's
Maybe
a level
maybe
of work
Steve
on
could
that.
have come and sang it at your wedding.
There you go.
You know,
And just change the bridge.
dreams can come true.
Right. Well,
No, that's the song.
you're already married though, so I don't think that's gonna work.
Second wedding.
If I had a
Your
time
second
machine, I'll let my husband know that.
Vow
Rule of
renewal,
vows.
Allie. Vow renewal. We'll
Okay.
make that
Yes.
happen. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We'll have Steve come play your vow renewal.
I got married to my wife twice. It counts. So, I like that similar, almost homophonic type of thing where he's saying I lie like a rug, and it's lilac almost again, like he's making that similar rhyme to that with the way that he says I lie like a rug.
Mm-hmm.
I just like. I don't know.
It's got that little dirty twist in there, and that's a B&L thing too, and I like that. I may lie like a rug, but I mean that. I mean when I say I want to lie down next to you, you know, it's got that little kind of innuendo in there, and that's fun. Oh, I was gonna say I do like that little twist. I mean, I was a little thrown off by the melody shift there again on the demo. It's weird because it kind of sounds like they didn't quite hit it, and they actually laugh it off, which is fun too to hear, but. You know, when you hear for me, when I hear the recess version, I hear kind of how it was meant to sound, and I really like that little switch up in the melodic structure of the song. And that's such a B&L pun, throw in a typical joke and then turn it into kind of a pun or an innuendo. Not to me, that's this is one time I have to disagree with Tracy though. I think the bridge is probably not one of my favorite parts of the song. I like the rest of the song more, but it is fun. It's nice to hear them switch it up a bit.
Jeff, what are we doing for a rating scale?
Ooh, I didn't really come up with a good one. I love, like you said, that the first verse has that brilliant rhyme scheme and the 10-cent words, and then throws you off with that fourth verse. So we're gonna do 0 to 5 swoons because I love that little twist in the lyric there. So we'll go with that. I usually don't go with lines in the song, but today I'm going to. And Allie, on a scale of 0 to 5 swoons, how do you rate Lilac Girl?
I give it 6 swoons. I'm
6
turning it to
swoons.
11. Yeah.
On a scale of 0 to 5, you're turning it to 11. Nice.
You and Saker are ruining my whole scale.
5. I'll give it 5 swoons.
So it's 5.
Keeping the sale.
5 swoons. That's great.
All right, I don't usually go second, so I'll go on this one. I love the song. Like I said, when I first listened to the demo, I don't know if I was like, oh man, but demos are tricky sometimes, and they either hit you or they don't. Maybe it's just because of the sound quality more than anything. But I do like layering. I love vocals. I love a little production, not overproduced. But I love the Recess version. got to hear what I think the song. That's how it hit me. I really love the song. I think lyrically and structurally, it's a brilliant, brilliant song. It's quintessential B&L. I got to go high on this. I'm going to give this one a 4.6 swoons.
Ooh.
And Stefan.
4.6 swoons. That's what I got.
4.6.
Yeah. You hit it right on the head. So
Tracy, bring it home.
All right. Well, I really like the song. I think that Ed's picking on this guitar is absolutely amazing, especially for so early in his career. I just absolutely love what he's doing with the guitar on this song. And when Kevin covers it on the mandolin later on in the live version, like you really get to see how much Ed is doing on that guitar when it's split up into those parts like that. And the harmonies are just gorgeous. I don't care which version you listen to, the harmonies are gorgeous. And I love that once we get to the very end of the song and they're doing the chorus again, we have Ed in the background saying, "Only you can make me swoon" in the background, just to kind of give it some layers. This is one of those songs that is absolutely amazing. The only reason I'm going to give it the score that I do is because I think that I would like to see a fully realized version of this out there. And so because it's kind of simple, but I would like to see I think that if it were fully realized, it would be an immediate 5 for me. I'm going to give this a 4.5.
We're going to allow you to do that.
So I'm going to give us a really cool appearance, which since most of us that are on this week are from Maine and our Pennsylvania boy just disappeared. The appearance for this week is going to be when they came up to Maine and did their appearance in 1996 on the WCYY patio. I was able to find an actual recording of that. So going really back old archives there. Gosh. And it's really great.
Oh, yeah.
Them having fun.
I remember that concert. That was great. That was fun. I was there.
You were there.
I was there. I went
Tracy,
to that concert.
have you guys been to, or who has been to their other concerts in Portland besides the 96 ones?
So I've been to 2 concerts in Portland, 3 concerts in Boston at this point.
Which ones did you go to in Portland?
Oh wait, no, 3 concerts in Portland, because one of them I went to was with Stefan. Stefan, what was the one that you and I went to? Because I remember I went to the Maroon tour in Boston, in Portland. I went to, and then 2 of their post Steven ones in Portland. I went to one of them up in Bangor, which was the one with Guster and Ben Folds 5. And then the other 3 I did in Portland, which was the holiday concert that they did on New Year's Eve, and then 2 of the post Steve B&L concerts. Whew.
Oh, did you see them? You didn't see the Everything to Everyone show in Portland?
I didn't.
Oh, that was such a good show. I was at the holiday show too. I can't believe you missed that show. But do you know about the shopping carts with the cereal, right?
I don't. Please tell me about this, even though I'm going to feel bad that I missed it.
Oh my God, you should look it up online. So they did a whole choreographed routine to shopping with shopping carts and fake cereal. It's amazing. It's art.
I have to look
and they did red versus blue intermission videos in between. It's the Portland show is on whatever streaming service is your preferred one, and you can actually hear the whole Everything Everyone shows, so you can hear the red versus blue videos, and you can it's good.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. I saw them, I think, 3 times in Portland, all
if I remember correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Everything to Everyone tour happened conjointly with their holiday tour one of the years, because they split up their holiday tour into 2 different years in the Christmas season. And I saw it on the second round of of the holiday tour, when they kind of broke away from Everything to Everyone to do the second half of their holiday tour again, and then came back to finish up their Everything to Everyone again. I think that's how it went. And I went to the holiday tour. I saw the holiday tour
after. I saw the holiday tour after I saw the Everything to Everyone show.
Okay, so maybe it's the other way around. Maybe I saw I can't keep track
Either
of
way,
which ones
they were
I
good
saw.
shows. They were good shows.
I don't
No,
believe
like
your memory better than me.
I just know because Everything to Everyone was actually my first BNL show. So I know that was
what
number
I'm trying
one.
to say, Allie, is that I don't remember a lot. That my memory, it has its limits.
Tracy, can I add there are limits to how good your puns are?
Oh, there's many limits to that. Once in a while, I can exceed the posted limits.
Oh, okay. So you can go beyond the limits. Hey, Tracy, what's the song next week?
Oh, limits.
Okay.
I don't know that song.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Allie. You always bring amazing facts with you every time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks,
thank
Allie.
you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets, except maybe one.
To celebrate joining Pantheon Podcasts, Rock Camp, the podcast, the official podcast of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, is giving away a guitar signed by Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, Marty Friedman, formerly of Megadeth, and legendary shredder Zakk Wylde, plus our rockstar counselors like Vinny Appice, Monty Pittman, and more. To enter to win, simply follow, rate, and review our podcast on your preferred platform, and that's all you have to do. For more information, go to rockcamp.com/podcast.